Hello again. My name is Emma and welcome to Tea Time Tuesday. Yay, we made it. It's always it's a challenge to come on here every Tuesday. Last week I didn't do it because I had me and my daughter were celebrating our birthdays, so it was a lot. I had to make a cake and decorate it, and I was doing all this rushing and going grocery shopping and all that. So I didn't even do Saturday night threads. I felt bad about that too. But anyway, now that our birthdays are over, I think I could have February as a clean slate. I don't have to worry about anybody's birthday coming up. At least I don't think so. I don't know what that is. Anyway, that's not just going to be my phone here. But anyway, I didn't have a chance to read neither, so excuse me, I feel bad about that as well. But no worries. I have Emily's post of etiquette. So this is an old book, by the way. This is a real book. This is the 15th edition. And I like the old ones because the old ones seem to have more information than the updated versions. So let's see what Emily Post has to say about dating. Okay, but first let me pour some tea because I did the tea that I had last week. It was called pineapple something. This is chamomile, and I really didn't care for that pineapple because I did not taste any pineapple whatsoever. So I was kind of like really sad about that. And then I just made myself some little sandwiches. I wanted to have tomatoes, lettuce, and bacon, but I didn't have no tomatoes. So I was like, I'll just leave it with the lettuce. And then I had a little cheese cubes and a little bit of crackers with what do you call it? With the cream cheese and strawberries. So, and then I had my little fork over here. What did I do with it? Oh, I think I left it over here. So I always have these tiny little forks and little spoons. So I could, sometimes I'll have like sugar cubes. I have them in there. And I like to just use the little forks to pick up the cheese. And I did have a napkin. I think I have a napkin behind me. So I'm just going to take a bite. And this is just salami with lettuce, Polish ham, and cheese. Like I said, I really wanted bacon in here and tomatoes, but that didn't happen. I'm just going to sit this down over here. Now this has flavor. This is chamomile tea. I really do prefer it to be steaming hot. But by the time I get all over here and sit down, it's already, cooling off. But let's see what Emily Post has to say about dating. Okay, so she goes, who calls for whom? In the past, there was no question about whether the man called for the woman. He always called. for her and saw her home, even when she extended the invitation. Unless, of course, the occasion was at her home. Let's read that again. He always called for her and saw her home, even when she extended the invitation, unless of course the occasion was at her home. Okay. Fortunately, times have changed a lot. If you live in the suburbs and have a car, there's no reason why you cannot meet your date at a party and drive yourself home afterward. It is expected to escort you to your car. He is expected to escort you to your car and make sure you are safely in it with the doors locked before a final goodnight. Naturally, you would offer to drop him off at his apartment before continuing on your way if he does not live too far afield. Afield? Okay. If you do not drive or prefer to avoid city traffic, your date is not expected to travel the 30 miles to your home in order to pick you up. You may come into the city alone on the train and have him meet you at the station upon your arrival. Whether he should see you to the commuter train when your date is over or ride home with you and return again is questionable. You may safely board the train alone if the hour is early and the train filled with other travelers. If you are with other people you know, even at a late hour, he could be spared the commute to the suburbs and back. On the other hand, if it is late and you are alone, he cannot leave you on the train and go home. It is his responsibility to get you home or to a safe alternative. A little thought ahead of time may ease the long-distance dating problem. You may have friends in the city with whom you can plan ahead to spend the night, or he may have suburban friends with whom he can spend the night after taking you home. If you live with parents or relatives, you may invite him to spend the night at your home. In each case, you have to be safe, and he would be spared a night of a train riding. If the distance is greater than the suburb to city and you have no friends whom to stay, the man may suggest you stay at a hotel at his expense. Who does that these days? Nobody. Okay. You may accept his offer, or you may insist on paying for your own lodging. But then again, who stays at a hotel to meet anybody at all these days? I mean, you don't do that. At least not that I know of. It's basically almost like going Dutch, right? I mean, you go your way, I'll go mine. And basically these days, both of you have cars, most of the time. When both the man and woman live in the same city, logistics pose no problem. If a man extends your invitation, he calls for you and takes you home, with the exception of lunch date or after business drink and dinner. In such case, it is proper for you to meet him at a specified time and place. Since most women still feel at ease waiting at an empty table, I urge men to be prompt. Equally prompt. It is equally proper after that kind of get together for a man to see you into a taxi and go on his way home. Now that's more logical. I mean, usually if you're going to meet somebody, in a city place or downtown, if you guys don't have cars, you meet somewhere, and it is more logical for the woman to always be safe and him to put his date in a taxi. But these days you don't have that. I mean, you could if you want your partner to be safe, but the majority are like it's Uber. And even with Ubers or, what's the other one? I forgot the other one. Any kind of public ride that you get, you're putting your partner at a risk because you don't, and she's going along with this car, in this car, and you don't know really who's behind that wheel. At least with, a branded name taxi, they're more personally responsible if anything happens to you. When it comes to other kind of transportations, I'm so used to grabbing my stick and scratching my back. You're not going to have that assurance. So he either goes with you, in the Uber car, and then he can drop you off, because most likely they shouldn't mess with a male person in the car. But I think it's more suggestive that he drop you off first, and then he goes on his way. Same Uber driver, of course. I forgot the other brand that they travel in. Okay, so it is equally proper after the kind of get together for the man to see you into a taxi and go on his way. The invitation has been extended by you. If the invitation has been extended by you, the man may still wish to pick you up and take you home afterwards, especially if he is using his car. However, you may properly call for him in your car or stop to pick him up in a taxi. An almost universal rule in cities is for the man to take the woman home after all, but the most casual after business, an almost universal rule in cities is for the man to take the woman home after all. But the most casual after business meeting, even when the date has been at her invitation, when she is driving her own car, he is still expected to ride to her garage with her and to see her to her apartment building after she has parked. Safety has become an even greater determinant of etiquette than custom. Determinant of etiquette than custom. So, yeah. That's what she talks about dating. So it all still falls back, like I said, dating it's not really any different to how it would have been back in the day, except that, like I said, the only big change is either traveling by train or bus or taking Ubers. That's the only difference, unless you, like I said, unless you have your own car and you guys either meet and then you guys go on your own way to your own homes in your own cars. But again, safety, it's bottom line, safety always comes first. Replying to invitations. Every invitation should be answered properly, whereas written replies were considered the only proper form in years past. Time and informality have combined to make telephone replies acceptable today for all but formal invitations. Many written invitations list a phone number next to RSVP. Accepting invitations is rarely a problem. All of us enjoy saying yes. Sometimes, however, an immediate yes is impossible because of tentative conflicts. If the gathering to which you have been invited to is informal and you know the host as well, you may feel free to phone and explain. I'd love to be there, but I may have to go to Chicago. Can I let you know in a day or two? However, it is a formal party, and your delayed reply will disrupt the hostess's well-laid plans. Then you owe it to her to decline the invitation at the start. I hate to miss the evening, but I expect to be in Chicago. I hope I will be more fortunate. It will be more fortunate the next time. Not all invitations make you hope for next time. Declining invitations you do not want to accept, need, nor be the ordeal. Some people make it by struggling to invite a believable excuse. Honesty is the best policy. When you invent elaborate tales to disguise the fact that you simply do not want to accept, you often find yourself ensnared in them in a later date. The best way to say no is a courteous thank you, but I can't make it on the 15th, or I'm busy on the 15th. So, better just to be, when it comes to replying to an invitation, it sucks. Thank you for the invite, but I'm not going to be able to make it. You really don't have to explain why. I mean, if somebody asks you, oh, well, I'm doing this, I'm putting on, and I would really love it if you can be there, but if you flatly just don't want to go, I hate to say make up an excuse, just outright, I don't want you to, lying is not good neither. That's a hard one if you just really don't want to go, but better just be honest. If you have to say, well, just be thankful that she invited you, and just say, oh, I really, really appreciate you inviting me, and I know you went through, all of this, but I'm just not going to be able to make it this time. It may be another time, but thanks again for thinking about me. That's your best way out. You don't have to answer why. I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. And get out of it as quickly as you can. But don't lie. Yeah, you're better off not lying. It's just gonna catch you at the end. And like I said, it'll just snare you into a trap later. But I thought you didn't want to come because you didn't want to see so-and-so. And then that so-and-so finds out that, what? I didn't even know she was going to be there. I didn't talk to her. I didn't know. It just snowballs into something that, wasn't even anticipated or expected. And it just backfires. So if you really don't want to go, just be honest, just thank them, just be thankful that they thought about you, and just say thank you. But, I can't really make it this time, but thank you for thinking about me. And I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Clink. And that's it. And leave it at that. Okay, guys, I don't know how long I've been on here, but, so for sure, I will be, I'm going to try to get back on track with my reading. I don't know what's going on with my throat. My throat has been bothering me like crazy lately, and I really don't know why. I don't know, maybe it's the air in here. So, I don't know, I might have to buy one of those, what is those, what are those things called that throw air, like smoke, into the air? Because I can feel it, like I can feel like there's something's in the air is what's making me cough, and my son goes through that a lot too. It just might be dry in here. So I can't wait for spring to come so I can start opening up all the windows. As a matter of fact, that's probably what I'm going to do right now. Just open a few windows and get the stuffiness out of here. Well, anyway, like a fish in the sea, thank you for joining me today. And don't forget to like, subscribe. And again, sorry I didn't catch up on my books this week, but I'll do everything I can to do it this week. And hopefully I'll give you an update on Gambling for the Duke's Daughter, and then I'll let you know how the reading will be going for on Napoli in Love. So I got those 2 books that I have to read, but right now I have to get on some crocheting, some needle pointing, and then I have to get to wrapping up these bags as well. So, and I have to hurry up and do all this, and I still have to make the icing. It's a lot to do in one day, but again, thank you so much for being here, joining me, and we will see you next week on Tea Time Tuesday. Bye-bye.